Okay, well, we'll see what happened. Let's go.
Here's the rub. What's he doing? Walking while black? What's he doing? What's he doing wrong? Was he under arrest? I mean, all I see is that they go up to him and they just start searching.
Welcome to What Had Happened Was.
Where we take a peek into actual court cases and give you commentary based on our unique perspective and experiences, and also give you informational tips and tricks to help you avoid a what had happened situation.
Before we get started, give us a thumbs up, a tasteful comment. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of every video as they come out. All defendants are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Mr. Langino. Hey, do you have an arraignment?
No, I'm not one of your Mac Attorney State Judge.
Got it. Okay. You ready? Let's rock and roll.
Abiola.
Zion Abiola. Mr. Abiola, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with evading arrest. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Today, what had happened was, we're in Judge Fleischer's court in Texas. He's doing a probable cause hearing. Probable cause means to see whether or not they have enough to charge you with an actual crime, or they have to let you go. Let's look and see what happens.
Judge, on May 30th, 2024, officers observed 2 black males walking out of Bedford Place Homeowner Association Park, which is closed after sunset. Officers made contact with the defendant and another male who advised they did not know the park was closed.
The defendant looks like a teenager, and he got stopped for going through a park at night because he didn't know the park was closed. This has happened a lot. Teenagers don't pay attention to things like that.
And that the park is closed?
I don't know. Hasn't been said as of yet.
Well, then that's it. Because if I don't know if the park is closed, if there's no sign. Some parks, depending on the parks, they have a thing you cannot drive in. They have a big, like a big gate you can't drive into or whatever. But if they have a big parking lot, some of them have a guard station. Depends on what kind of park it is. So if it's just a clearing and they named it a park that you can walk in through any part at any time, then how do I know that it's closed if it's an open space?
You don't.
Defendant kept reaching near his waistband and pocket. Officers attempted to conduct a Terry frisk on the defendant, resulting in the defendant running. Foot pursuit lasted approximately 25 to 30 yards. While running, a black handgun fell from the defendant's waist area. Defendant stated the gun belonged to his mother. Officers recovered a Glock 23, loaded with 1 bullet in the chamber and 7 in the magazine. 15 additional bullets were found inside defendant's book bag, and an extra magazine containing 18 bullets, a total of 41 bullets.
In spite of all that he's saying, Texas is an open carry state. You're legally allowed to carry a weapon. You don't have to have a license. You can, as long as you're not a criminal, you can own a gun in Texas.
But it's his mother's gun, it's not his gun.
Yep, and it's his mother's gun.
Defendant's father arrived on scene and stated the defendant's mother is the one who purchased the weapon for the defendant. Defendant is 19 years of age. He has 2023 unlawful carry of a weapon non-suit as a juvenile, no out-of-county.
So he has weapons violations as a juvenile, but now he's an adult. And, you know, his record, that juvenile record goes when you turn 18. So all that stuff he dealt with is behind him. So now this is just him being a man for the first time.
But each time he got caught, was it his mother's gun?
Probably. His father came to the scene and said his mother bought the gun for him to protect himself.
Criminal record.
Here's the rub. What's he doing? Walking while black?
Put a 7 in the comments if you live in a city or an area where there's quote unquote a park. There's no quote unquote fence around it. There's some benches. There's like a concrete path around it, and then there's grass. And they consider that to be a park. And there's no signs posted that says after a certain hour you can't sit there.
The judge went there with them. I wasn't expecting them to go there like that.
And the public defender, if they would have gotten a picture of this park to say, well, there's no signs posted or whatever, because you have areas that is just exactly like I described. It's a pathway, a concrete pathway or whatever, like a little paved road. It's a clearing. There's like 2 benches, and they consider that to be a park. So now if you sit there after a certain time, it's considered you being there after the park is closed. So if he would have had a lawyer might have taken a picture and said, where were you? I was here. Okay, so let's take a look and see what this park says or doesn't say. Because like I said, there are spaces that is just a clearing, or sometimes there might be a concrete walkway and there's a bench. And you just sit there and they're like, oh, you're in the park after dark. I'm not in anything. I'm just sitting on a bench that's here, and there's no gate around the bench. I didn't trespass anything to get into this place. So if it's considered that he's there after a certain time, he's not supposed to be there, then they need to put signs up.
What's he doing? What's he doing wrong? Was he under arrest? I mean, all I see is that they go up to him and they just start searching.
So as part of that detailed affidavit they have describing the events of what transpired, the judges are going to video and saying, I see them just walking up to them and start searching.
And they even have parks that quote unquote is like a stone fence or a fence around it, but they have benches on the outside, so you can't sit there either because the park is closed. But I'm not in the park; you're outside. So he was just probably sitting somewhere.
Remember, he just read the affidavit. What they did was walk through. They walked through the park. They weren't stopping and hanging around. It started. They were walking. It said they walked through the fence. They were coming out of the park, walking from inside the park after it was closed. That's it.
Yeah, but how do you know it's closed? That's what I'm saying. Was it a fence they jumped over and they caught them at the end of the fence?
No, he said they walked up to them.
That's my whole point. There's no fence. So you saw me walk through something. You saw the park is closed. Oh. There's no sign saying the park is closed.
Exactly.
So it's just a walkway that people probably, and they may walk through there all the time. So this is their regular path that they take. It doesn't matter what time it is. So because if they stop him, and then according to what they're saying, he's been stopped several times. And I'm quite sure they always stop people in that same location because nobody knows that this park is closed. That's the premise they come up with. The park is closed.
Exactly. That's the probable cause based on a local ordinance.
They need to post a sign.
Right?
I believe.
Walking while black.
The DA already knows he doesn't have much to stand on, because if they had a sign saying that it was closed, or if they had a fence that they could say that they crossed through in order to get from one side of the park to another, they would have put that in there. So there's obviously nothing for them to sit there and say. Like I said, it's probably a clearing. You know, they even have in some cities and some places, they even have like a bench that was dedicated by this person, honoring their name or whatever. Yep, so you can't sit on that bench, a memorial bench or whatever. So, and it's on the outside of a park, or maybe it's just like a senior rest area. Like they might have a place for people to sit while they're walking or whatever. You can't sit there. So
well, the judge reiterated his position. He said it again. Walking while black.
And the reason why the DA said, and the DA tried to sit there, and the DA tried to sit there and say something. I know for a fact that if the DA had proof, they would have been able to say, no, there's a city ordinance because they didn't start with
according to city ordinance of city of da 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 subsection B addendum Q whatever. This park is closed between the hours of 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. and he was seen at 9:03. No, they didn't say any of those things.
Here's a good poll. Put a number one in if you've ever walked through a park and didn't know it was closed, or at a park after dark. Just at a park, period, after dark. Walking through, going through, because it's the path that everyone takes.
Here's a funny thing too. So now, sunset, right?
Sunset.
They have some parks that said this park closes
At sunset.
At sunset.
Yep.
So, in the summertime, that's 8:30, 9 o'clock when it gets fully dark, when the sun finally is all the way set
Yes,
down.
it is.
So in the wintertime, you can't be there past 4:30. Because according to that, there's varying time. So you can be a minute late and be past sunset.
Exactly.
So you have to be watching your watch to see what time the sun sets in this park.
You have to be aware of your surroundings.
Mr. Abiola, I'd be very careful. You know, where you go, what you do may not end up well for you. I'm going to find no probable cause on this case now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Abiola, be careful. Just take a seat for me in the back, please. Don't leave.
Seems like the judge is about to have a flip out moment. With the
Yeah,
DA. He's about
does
to
kinda
sit
seem
there
like that, yeah.
and have a whole let the tongue lashing begin.
Yes. Unleash the hounds.
And he did chastise the gentleman and
Yes, he
say,
did.
listen, be careful where you go, walking.
Warning and
He's
admonition.
telling you they're trying to get you.
Warning and admonition. Yes, he did. Give him counsel. Yeah, he sure did.
On both. Yeah.
So,
It's all of the same courses we had. We weren't just.
That's why I try to let him know, man. So you know what's going to happen if you go to jail. You're lucky to get out once, man.
We're sitting saying the same thing. He doesn't know that we're all sitting in the same
You don't get it.
Yeah.
But that's why we now try to give them the knowledge, hey, man, this is what's going to happen, because they don't get it. Most of them not till it's too late.
So you should decide what the judge is having right there.
Yeah, because you didn't tell him, hey, you know, according to this ordinance, you're not supposed to be here after sundown, or, you know, or even a matter of, you know, you can't walk through here at night or whatever. It's a safety issue. We don't want people walking through here at night, or, you know, but they just saw them walking, stopped them, and searched them.
Yeah. That's
Isn't that illegal search and seizure?
It's illegal search and seizure. Yes, it is.
And that's why the
They
judge
had no
is
reason. They weren't acting in a suspicious manner in any way, shape, or form. You have to have, you know, again, there was no elements. That's why it says no probable cause. They didn't have a probable cause to search them, according to the judge right there. You heard it yourself.
Who's that one that we found? Mr. Abiola, come up.
Other side, other side.
I found no probable cause. Guys, keep it down, please. I found no probable cause. Your cases have been dismissed. The only thing I'm going to counsel you is to be careful. Don't go to parks after hours. Otherwise, they're just going to harass you. You understand? Okay, good luck, man. You're free to go.
Words of wisdom live by moving forward.
So now he says because they're out to get you. He said it just like that. They're out to get you.
Yeah.
So once again,
He's been warned and admonished and counseled.
and that's a warning to everybody else too. If you out and the police are always harassing us. Okay, so then when do you stop going to this place where you're getting harassed at?
Good
It's like
question.
every time You know, like if you stand at a particular spot, you get hit by the dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
Move!
People are too stubborn to just do that. And they'll pay the price for it every time.
Thanks for watching.
And also give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified of every video as they come up. And get that algorithm going and help us build this channel in 2024.
And make sure that you don't wind up in a what had happened situation. Bow, bow, bow.